Hello everybody, this is Simeonski and this is kind of a little bit of an extra episode that's connected to circuits. Because I will explain to you how to use all what you have learned inside a kind of escape room style game. And for this I will be using my first game I created because a lot of the mechanics are inside this game. It's called The Lost Sheep, where you have to find a sheep that someone lost. And something else, if you need to get more detailed circuit tutorials and stuff, I have the link of a channel of some really cool dude that is doing way more advanced things like projectiles and shooting things and yeah, the very advanced stuff which I will not be able to cover in this format because I want to go step by step and yeah, basically do the basics that you need to know. So check out his channel. And another thing, there's a maker room that you can visit inside Rec Room where I have some examples of tutorials that I had. And in this room you can even see the circuitry and even use the maker pen to check out how things are organized. And I will put the game experience with the Lost Sheep in there as well, but with the opportunity for you to see the circuitry and to see what's going on. So that was enough of talking right now. Let's go for the video. Let's go through the different mechanics that I used in this little escape room game. So you already see right when I enter, I see the subtitles in front of me that explains me a little about the situation, what's happening here. Yeah, I'm a farmer or a sheepherder that seems to have lost his sheep, and I have to look for it. So let's start with what you see here. You have some sheep here. They are connected to an animation gizmo, so they are animated. You have the thing that I explained to you, but without the is local player chip. Actually, I still did the if. I still used the if chip and checked and the check. But this is the same what the if player's local chip does. Basically, if you join and the one that's joining is yourself, then after a little bit of delay, it will show one text, delay a little bit, show the next text to yourself, only to yourself, delay a little bit, and so on and so forth. So you have a little bit of an intro to your game. So, what else do we see from here already? One thing you will notice is there is coins lying around that you can use. These are basically objects that are physical and that have the tag coin. Yeah, that's basically what they are. And if you go into the city, you will have the chance to give this guy here the coins, and it shows you how many coins you already collected. There are some lying around and some you need to find by helping the people here in this town. Yeah. So let's look at the coin system here really quickly. So, oh no, let's start with the talking system. I already showed this in another tutorial, but this is how it works. You enter this trigger box, and it's telling you there's even a condition here, of course, that I put in between because he's telling you something different when you have given him all the coins he wants. So that's just how I put this in between, greater or equal, and if the coins are greater or equal, well, 12 that are inside there, then he will tell you, oh, thank you, and trigger something else, which will tell you something different and actually give you an item. So, but let's come back to this item thing later. For now, we just have to know that, yeah, this is just the text of this guy. There's an animation gizmo again that he's moving, and this is an extra thing. It's the box. So which this box does is whenever you add a coin or coin, then it will add a number and it will display it here. So let's go through the circuits real quick. What's it doing? It's doing object entered. Okay, it's going from object entered, checking the object. Then it's checking if it has the tag coin. Then it continues, otherwise it will stop and nothing will happen. So it adds 1 to the coin value, and this is a synced value as well, so everyone can participate and add coins. And then it's basically sending the coin value to the text, and it takes it from the coin value, changes it to a string, so at first it adds 1, so it should be 1 now, and then it adds the 1 there. No, it's 2 now because 2 are inside. And this is how you can count. And I also did a safety backup that if you take out a coin, object exited, and it's a coin, then the coin value will add -1, which means if I take, and also write this to this text box over here, which means if I take out a coin, it recognizes that a coin is taken out. That's just how easy it is. And let's continue with this guy. It's a little bit the end of the game, but I will not explain the whole game, but I will just explain a little bit of the mechanics, different mechanics I'm using here. So once you have 12 coins, it will not trigger this text anymore, but okay, no, this will be the same, it's just counting. But the coins value, as I already told you, you can use these values around the house. So like this is not connected, but still will get the same value. So this is checking if it's below 12, then it's just giving you the normal text. If it's above 12, it will, oh actually this is the text it gives you if it's below 12. If it's above 12, it's giving you another text, but it's also triggering a set position chip for an item called key. So the position is in his hand, as you see, that's the vector. So I connected the vector, which is this one, to the set position, no, get position. I got the position from the vector, set the position. Yeah, and I will set the position of the object with the name key to this vector. This means he will have the key in hand. And this is an object that is hidden right now under the ground. And then it's an object, that's a key basically, and it will not be a physical, it will just be some object that's in the air. It has to be, if you want to use it for something, it cannot be decorational, just to let you know. And then you would get this key and kind of go over here and put in the key. And when you put in the key, so it's checking object entered, has the tag key. If it has the tag key, then it does run. What does it run? It runs a rotator, and the rotator will open the door and you will get to the next object that's in there that you will need for another quest. That's just a thing. And you can put a little bit delay that looks more, that people can move it around a little bit, or something that it not directly opens, but it feels a little bit more like you're putting a key in there. So that's how you do doors. What else do I have here in this? So this is kind of the same process over here with this guy. I have to give him this object that comes out, which is a hammer, and then he will repair. But here I was working with booleans, because I just need to know from this yeah, let's go through it. So if, okay, yeah, I have to give him the hammer and then I have to talk to him. Basically put the hammer in the right spot. If I put the hammer in the right spot, this is happening here. So I'm not sure which trigger volume is doing, but no, I think this is the right one. So if I put the hammer in the right spot, then this will set the has hammer to true. If I take it out again, it will set it to false. But if he has it in his hand and then I'm talking to him, he is checking the if has hammer is true. And then he will say something different than before and turn another thing to true, which is bridge, which means it's this value over here and somewhere down here. Yeah, somewhere down here, and this is the bridge, and it's connected to rotator. And here you can see I used the event receiver bridge changed to actually trigger this bridge to come up. So this is what you can do. So this is one easy way you can do because I have only this one thing over there that will actually change the event bridge. It doesn't even matter if it changes from true to false or the other way around. This will trigger this rotator, and rotator will go up and also stop at a certain angle. So I configured it that it will stop at a certain angle, so it will not continue to go up. So you could do this with this thing, or you can just, for some of these things, it would also make sense to make a new event by event definition, and then just when everything is alright here, just send out the event definition, and then this event definition will trigger the bridge, which is for complex things way more easy than making all these things here. But you have to see, you have to check if it's for everyone, should be going on for everyone, or if it's just for the person. This is for everyone now, so if the hammer is there, someone's talking, the bridge will trigger for everyone. So what else do we have? Over here we have a little quest where you need to collect these wooden thingies. So this guy is kind of complaining, he's cold, and he wants to be a little bit warm. And basically what you have to do here is put wood into this fire. And what happens, it checks if object entered has the tag firewood, then it continues and would add 1 wood. It's almost like the coins basically. Yeah, it's actually the same thing like the coins. It would add wood, and once it equals 10, it would turn what would it do when it... okay. Once it equals 10 or more, it would also start an emitter that is directly inside, so you have a... You can also make a noise or something, so you can see that something has changed here. You can talk to this guy, and this guy is actually starting a quest line, so to speak. So how did I do the quest lines in this thing? Of course, he's answering a normal thing until you have enough wood in there, but then he would answer something different when you have more wood. You can do this again with the integer, that's called wood. And then he would just, this is super easy, he would just turn a Boolean that's called story1 to true. Before, in the beginning, they are always false. So he would turn this to true, and this is only for the local player. So everyone has to go through the quest line in order to get to the end of it. It's nothing you can do as a group. And so he tells you basically what he tells you. Go to find some person, and this would be the person over here. And here it's kind of the same. process. Also super easy process. It tells you, it has again two outputs. One is it checks if the story 1, which I turned true now, is true. If it's true, it's going to tell you something else where I need to go, and telling putting another Boolean, which is story 2, to true. So you can basically go to the next person, which would be over there, I remember. Yep. Yeah, and this... oh no, there is someone in between, I guess, yeah. But this is kind of how it goes. You always have numbers. And here, for example, it's interesting, it's falsifying story 2. So that the person that you talked to before will have his normal text again. So this is one way to trigger, and in the end of this line they will give you some item that you will need. And then we have another one here, which is, I think this is the most complex one. So let's finish with this. Let's just go for the end thing that I can do for now. Basically, just to put this in between because it's super easy. Basically, I have an item that's called sheep. If I pick this up, carry it back, go back to the start, and here I have a trigger volume, and this has the same options that I already told you with key objects and stuff. And you just put the sheep in here, and it triggers something, a conclusion of the game comes up, sound is playing, yada yada. So what I also put in here, before I do the most complex thing, is I have two different musics that are playing. So one is the music of the town, and one is the music of this mountain area over here. It should be starting when I move up here. Also with sound effects, it has some sound effects. How did I do this? I did explain already in the tutorial with the audio, but basically I do have two boxes that you can enter, and when I enter this box, it starts playing one sound and stops the other one that is over there. Oh, music, not music. And this one is doing the same. I enter this, it starts this kind of specific music, and it pauses or stops. You can use both. Here it pauses the other one. So basically, that's how you basically move from one music to the other. And for this, I think the sound effects I would just put in sound boxes that have ambience for the ambience. Ah yeah, there is one. This is one of the ambience things, but I would just put in audio players connected to an ambience. Don't know why this is over there, but and then I just did put it in a way that is spatial 3D audio, so if I walk away the voices will become less loud or louder if I'm closer to this. And the last thing I did, which is the most complex thing, I did a little riddle where you have to put the right things on this, and you find the right order is hidden in some drawing that you will find somewhere over there in the mountains. I will not put the right things in now, but I will show you how the system works. So what it does, it's actually relatively easy. It was more complex, but I made it more easy. And we have the event sender, that's good. So what it does, you put in an object, it checks if the tag of this object is the right one, which would be art1, art2, and art3. And only one of these objects has the art tag, the art1 one has to out2, one has to out3, and there's more than these that don't do anything. So if it has the tag, then out1 would be put to true, and there is an extra event that's called outChallenge that is sent. Same if it's if anything is exited, it will turn out1 to false. Like if I put anything in and take it out, just the wrong one. Otherwise, I could just try out whatever, but it really has to be the right one standing on that pedestrian. And yeah, basically only if I put the right out here, it will turn out1 to true, and then send out an outChallenge event. This event is over here, and this is the same with all these things, but with out2 and out3. So you have to put the right thing in here. It has to have the right tag, and they all need to have the right tag and be in the right place. And then always this outChallenge thing is triggered. Always when something is happening there, when something goes in or out, this will be triggered. And what this is doing, it's basically checking if any of these are true. So we want, for this challenge, we want to be all the three to be true, and then something else happens. The something else here is that another Boolean that's called outChallenge. It's a little bit confusing now. This is not the same. This is an event called outChallenge. This is a Boolean. So they are not inflicting each other, but also they are not really connected. I could have called it differently, but it works. So what it does, it checks if everything is true, and if everything is true, it returns outChallenge to true. If anything on the way is wrong, I got to the else, so I'm super safe. If anything is going wrong on the way, it will be turning outChallenge to false. We probably won't need to do that necessarily, but I found it not safe. You could just also leave it open so it never goes to the true. Also possible. I think maybe you can trick it somehow then, but yeah. And once the outChallenge thing is true, once you talk to this lady, what will happen? So I did something really easy. I'm not suggesting you to do this because it worked very badly sometimes. Once everything, you talk to this lady, she's talking to you, and once outChallenge is true, then something will happen. She will tell you something new, and this invisible wall will disappear. There's an easy option to make this disappear by just entering disable, and this wall will disappear, and I put some coins on top of this and they will fall down. You could also use the kind of vector spawning thing here, but it's a little bit more complicated. But if you use this like I did it now, it might happen and these things fall through when you save. So yeah, you might wanna try to use the vector. It's more complicated, but it's more safe, so things will not fall down before you want it to fall down. Yeah, that's how I basically did my lost sheep game with all the... Yeah, that's some of the mechanics you can use for building escape room style game in Rec Room. Yeah, again, if you want to see this, if you want to go through all the circuitry, go to my room that I made for this, because you are allowed to use the maker pen in there and try out things, and you will see all the circuitry when you go in there. Or just visit the game as its original. It's called The Lost Sheep. Right. Thank you guys for watching again. As always, like and subscribe, and visit my extra room that I built to show off the things that you can do and to give you a little bit insight, especially when the circuits come up, that you can just check out, make a selfie, post it, whatever. And yeah, see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.